All right, and welcome to the part two. Thanks for sticking around. Let's dive right into it and get this thing made. Now, this giver, which is this, it's going to control all of the receiving blocks, such as the green stuff, like I had mentioned before. Let's go ahead and add a little script to it, so we can start testing the UI and how that works. Add a little script to it, and I'm gonna call this script. I'll just call it giver. Why not? Giver. All right. Go ahead and hop into this giver script. I'm gonna make a reference now to. Oh, we almost forgot something very important. The money. We can't just be passing around money to a UI text, which is here. This is the UI text. We can't be passing around money and like not actually have a value for that money. This is just a display so we can see how much we have, but where is the actual amount that we have? For that, let's add to this giver. Let's add to this a int value. Right, int value shows up here, and we're going to change the name to, let's call it money to collect. Right, money to collect. I have a lowercase m, uppercase T, and capital C as well. All right, money to collect set. Let's make reference to that right now. Local, this is our money, equals, notice where the script is. You know what? Let's put the script, I'm thinking of putting the script on the actual money. No, it's fine. Let's keep going. Equals script, right? Script is here, parent, child. So we want to target the money to collect. We're going to say dot parent, which is the giver, dot money to collect. That gives us this. From the script, we go to the parent, to the money to collect child. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. Why wouldn't it? Let's zoom in a little bit more so you can see the code. All right. Let's move a little bit now forward. The blocks, the green blocks, which are these parts, those are children in this giver, right? So it'll be easy for us to target every blocks that are in that giver. We might put them in a specific little folder, so it'd be easier to be like, oh, these are all the part collectors. In fact, that is a great idea, something called part collectors. Also, we can just search by their name. Let's call green part, so that's easier to do. Let's make this money. You can see there's a value. Let's give it 20, right? If it's 20, I want that when I play the game, sorry about the dog barking. I want that when I play the game, I see 20 here because I set 20 on that part. Let me fix the dog and I'll be right back. By fix, I don't mean that kind of fix. All right, so sorry about that. Dog started barking. Quick little test here. We've made the script. We've made this. Like I said, I want to put 20 here. Hit play, and this 50 turns to 20. Let's go ahead and put a script on the money as well. I'm not too fancy about naming it right now. This will be a quick little script. The script will target the money to collect and change the value of the script to it. Simple to do. Script dot parent dot text. Okay, understand that the text of this we're trying to change. You notice if you go here into text, let's collapse some of these. You notice if you go right here into text, it says right here text, it's $50. So we were trying to change that. We say that equals, we put the $sign because we want to keep the $sign, and then all you got to do to add something else to that is 2 dots plus, we're going to add to that script dot parent, right, which brings us where? To the money, right? Dot parent brings us where? surface GUI. Okay, you can see where I'm going here. Dot parent from surface GUI to the giver. Now that we're in the giver, dot money to collect. So we say money to collect. Dot value. We want the value of that money to collect. All right. We're going to come back into the script later to make sure that it changes when the value changes. I'm going to show you something real quick. Hit play. And you can see it actually says 20. But while we're playing, let's see if I can do this. While we're playing, there's the money to collect right here on that giver. Hit play. Workspace. Giver. Money to collect. It says 20. Now I'll change it to 50. You can see it doesn't change. So as this money comes here, that value will increase. It will change, but this won't. So we want to make sure that that is set up to change as well. Let's get into that script right now. We'll fix that. All we gotta do is set up a change event. So here is the value. Here is where that is located. Money to collect. Let's copy that. And you set up a listener. You say this thing right here dot change. You can see this is basically a listener that will listen for when it changed. So we want to do that. And then we say connect and what kind of function we want to run when this happened. We're not going to make a separate function. We can just type it all in here. So we say function, open and close parenthesis, and then whatever it is, we'll say money, right? That is what the represent what has just changed in a sense. And so inside here we simply say script dot, well, basically this part right here. We'll say this part right here, update it and add that money. Hopefully this makes sense. So when this changed, when that change to the value occur, we're connecting this little function that will take that change amount, update the parent text script, which again is this, update the text of that, put money, the dollar sign in front, and then that money value at the other end of it. All right, so let's test, see if that works. We're almost ready to get right, like into the very, very meat of this thing, but we're setting up everything else to work. So here's the money. If I change this value, I think it should work. Put 100. I don't know if it works when I initially do it. I think it will work when it is called by the Roblox Studio itself. I thought I could make it happen if I just like change it myself. But it is set up to work. We'll see if it does. Because next thing is when these cash hit these green things, we're going to go ahead and start increasing this money to collect. Let's do that right now. All right, so stay with me. Don't let me lose you in this part. Giver. This is our giver script. Remember, well, the things that we're spawning in, we're thinking ahead again, the fallen object as always. We're thinking ahead. What if we want certain ones to give us more money than the others, right? What we're gonna do is simply add to them, add to the replicated storage, fallen object, the little thing that we're spawning in, add to it an integer value. So it has a little integer value on it. Let's call that value, I'll say cash, why not? Or I'll do the cash so you can really see. It's such an interesting name that you will see where this pops up and where it comes into play. And then the value, how much is each one of these are going to give us? I'll say 20. Okay, so on our fallen object that are hitting this thing, it's going to give us it has a little child object in it called the cash, which tells us how much it should be giving us when it hits the green thing. Okay, back into here. Let's make this work. I'm gonna do a for loop. So we're going to say for, and I will represent the amount of time, V will represent the item I'm looking for, in, and then we say pairs. In here, I'm going to tell it script dot parent. So notice where we are, giver, we're in the giver parent. We're looping through all the children now. That's what we're gonna do. So I say script dot parent, but then I'll do this, boom, and I will say get, where is it? Get children, just like that. Get children, and then the little do that's needed, and then the end. Okay. Now we need an if condition to sort out which children we're looking for. I want to get these two. That's what I want to get. And then detect when something touched them. If something touched them, check to see if that thing that touched them is a fallen object. Then get the value for the cash. Increase our cash, our money to collect, which refers back to this. Which then, if that changes, then script on here should update our board, update the little thing right here. That is the plan. Okay, let's see if it all actually works as I'm plotting it out. If V, which represents the items that we're looping through, name, right, is equal to, and the name of the things in here are called green part. See right here, green part, both of those. So as we loop through all the children, if they have this name, then and only then I'm going to set up a V dot touched event. Remember, V represents the items, the child that we're looping through. So if they have that name, then I just set up the touch event. I'm gonna connect. Why does it seem like it's not working? I'm gonna keep going, but it seemed like it's not functioning here with me. I'm gonna tell the function here, okay, as you touch it, I'm gonna pass in whatever part that just touched it. I'm gonna call it other. Whatever just touched it is now represented as other. Right, we're still in here. Notice all the ends and the parentheses. Make sure you're doing this proper as well. Now we're in here. If we did touch that, we're gonna say if other, right? And we're going to find, I think it's first child. Why isn't it turning blue? I'm scared when it doesn't turn blue. Anyways, find first child, and that first child in here should be called the cash. Remember, that is what I named it. The cash, right? We find the other. If the first child of it, the cash, is there, then, right? So there's a layers of if loops and stuff on top of each other. Then money, which is our reference to the money to collect, right? Then money dot value, we're about to change the value, equals itself. So let's go ahead and do a quick money dot value equals itself, want to keep its value, plus other. Remember, other has the cash to it, so we verify that it's the right object that's touching the green thing. So it's going to be other dot it has the cash as the first child object, so that means that it's safe for us to do the cash dot value, and that should change that value. Next thing we want to do is delete it, so we're gonna say debris, boom, add item open close parenthesis. What we want to delete would be other, and then how soon we say 0. Let's say 2 seconds, and it's gone. As for debris, we must go up here and just get that all set up in the game. So we say local, and I'll just say debris. I'm glad I'm making these mistakes so you don't have to. Right here, dot game service, not a dot, it's just that. No wonder the game service wasn't like turning blue. And so we're good to go. Alright guys, now we have a functioning belt with our UI, our collector going up, and a full expandable scene, a full expandable game. We can make more droppers, we can replicate and duplicate our conveyor belts. Our station here will still work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video right here. Because I feel like this has gone on long enough. So the next part, let's go ahead and then walk over to it for your money to go up. It's important to know that that's not as easy as it seems. Oh, the player walks up to it and just award that player the money. What happens when a different player that's not a part of your Tycoon walks over to it? Should he be able to take your money? No. Only you should be able to take your money. So there's something called ownership that we need to look into. In the next video, I'll show you how that works. It's not difficult, so stop saying it's difficult. Stop thinking it's difficult. And then there's these little buttons that we'll put on the ground that cost. They will cost a certain amount to purchase, and then you get different droppers. That we won't have any restrictions to it. Anybody can do that, so other players will be able to purchase your droppers, but they shouldn't be allowed to touch your money. So on this object here, on this trigger, we will assign something called an ownership. We will check, hey, who's touching this trigger? Is he the owner of this giver? And if he is, then allow him to collect the money. That's why a lot of tycoons, when they start, you have to walk into like an area to claim that tycoon. And what they do is, as soon as you walk into it and you step into that area, they then assigned you to be the owner. So this is looking great, and can't wait. I'll catch you in the next one. Let's actually give the player the money.